In this fast-changing world, continuity is the key. From the beginning of your process to the heart of your system, ABB Server Room Sub-Distribution Configurator enables planners and consultants to create first layouts in minutes. What you see in 3D is what you get in reality. ABB offers a wide range of solutions for the data center industry, now available for you in one app. Energy distribution has never been easier with ABB's Configurator, where continuity really matters.
Welcome everyone to Energize the Future with High Power Density, an ABB webinar to discover how you can get more power in less space. I'm Valentina D'Agostino, Global Marketing Communication Specialist at ABB Smart Buildings, and today you will know more on data center market trends, success stories about server rooms, and the benefit of a new redesigned remote power panel. Okay, before starting, here are some ground rules for today's session. So here below, you can find different widgets with different icons. And if you have any question during the webcast, please click on the Q&A widget on the bottom and submit your question. Then we will try to answer this during the session. The session will be then recorded and your microphone is automatically muted. If you want to know more about data center solution, please click on related content section in this folder and you will find all the links to our web pages and document. And of course, if you would like to have more information or you have any other question, please click on the button Contact Us. And now let me introduce to you our ABB expert for today's webinar. A big welcome to Nico Nino and Rami Karoum. Nico Nino is our Global Segment Marketing Manager for Data Center, and Rami is the Global Product Manager for Critical Power and Segment Solution Application. He is the expert in design and manufacturing of low voltage power distributions, and he has an extensive experience in the switchgear industry. Okay, let's start now. Nico, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this great introduction and welcome everybody also from my side. My name is Nico, as Vale mentioned, and I'm Business Development Manager in the data centers area, in the sub-distribution of the data centers. I'm with ABB for more than 13 years now. And here with me in the studio, I'm very happy to say hello to Rami Karoum. Rami, how are you today?
Hey, Nico, how are you doing? I'm doing good.
I'm good as well. How is the weather over there?
Oh, weather is perfect. I'm based in Dubai. It's the best winter in the world, I would say. 23 degree. Weather is warm, very sunny, lovely weather.
Good to hear.
I would like to thank Vale for the beautiful introduction, as well to thank all the participants for attending this webinar, and hope that everybody is safe and healthy.
And I hope the same, of course. And I think we can start with a very interesting session today. We have very interesting content around a new remote power panel we would like to talk about, and of course some interesting insights of the data center sub-distribution world. Okay, so let me fire up the PowerPoint presentation and then we can start from there. You can now learn the key considerations to improve the power density for your server room's electrical distribution. We'll help you energize the future with high power density, giving you more in less space. This webinar is specifically for those of you who are looking to innovative ideas when you plan your next data center's electrical subdistribution. If you are in the data center industry and you would like to learn more about how you can get even more power into less space, you must stay until the end of this event. We will give away something really worthy at the end for free. Just to make sure that everybody can find the Q&A button, I would like to ask you a quick question. So the question is, what is your daily business actually? So just to make sure everybody can find the button, here on the lower left corner, you see a small button with a question mark inside. Please press the button. It's in the toolbar here at the bottom, and answer this question to me quickly just in the chat box so that I can see that you can use the Q&A chat box properly. So if you are an installer or panel builder, please type A into the chat box. If you are B, a data center operator, so if you're running a data center continuously, sorry, please type B into the chat box. If you are a consultant, type C. And if you are in any other business area of a data center, please type D and specify then what exactly is your daily business in your data center environment. Okay. And while you are doing this, let me emphasize, if you have identified with any of the roles or similar roles, then the one you are exactly at the right place here. In this webinar, we will reveal the latest innovations in subdistribution by ABB. If you are looking instead for UPS or transformers, this is not the right webinar for you. We have other webinars specifically on these topics. Today, we will focus fully on the server room's electrical distribution. Nowadays, we take for granted that data storage and space is available and cheap. And we keep storing more data. Social media drives this trend as well, as the increasing amount of transactions made electronically every second. There are also new applications such as Bitcoin mining and similar blockchain operations, which require even more power, electrical power I mean. The data center business is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, with more than 11% compound annual growth rate. Further, almost 40 billion is the global spend on co-location services by 2023, according to HIS market studies. The number of hyperscale data centers globally back in 2016 was 338. More than double by 2021, so last year they finished with 628, so it grew a lot. Industry challenges in the data center are 6 to 9 months required to build a data center, which is very short time. 37% of data center outages actually occur because of power supply failures. 22% because of IT system errors, so the majority of power failures. We should avoid that. 12.5 data centers are renovated in the next 3 years by company, so by organization. And of course, COVID is a pro and con. It's an industry challenge, definitely. It's impacting the construction because of material shortages, because of labor, of course. But on the other hand, it's also a driver for data center builds because more people stay at home, more people use software. Right now, you are streaming this webinar through a couple of data centers all over the world. And that's why we are in a totally different time than a couple of years ago. And streaming and quick content distribution is really a key driver to the annual growth of data centers. For such a hyperscale installation, like in this picture here, ABB offers a full portfolio of products, systems, and services, both for the automation of the data center, for the power distribution within the facility, and for the connection to the utility grid. In this presentation, in this webinar, we will specifically focus on the sub-distribution scope with the low voltage power distribution components up there. So I personally don't like to speak so much about how great we are or so. So therefore I asked one of our customers to tell me his experience with ABB in a short customer story interview. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my big pleasure to introduce to you the CEO of Davenham, one of the biggest data center switchgear builders in Ireland, Mr. Paul Mongan.
Hello, Paul.
Hi, Nico. Good to meet you again.
Good to see you. Good to have you here. Thanks a lot for joining. So, can you give us a quick intro to yourself first, and then we can go and talk about the questions of the project.
Okay. Paul Mongan. I'm the engineering manager for Davenham Switchgear, and I'm primarily involved in the data center projects and data center industry. I suppose for the last nearly 10 years, we've had a heavy involvement with the data center industry. Yep, that's me.
Great, thank you very much. And what do you see as the major data center trends, particularly in the server room market, in the white space area of the data center?
I suppose from our own recent experience, initially when we got involved, we saw that there was an awful lot of buzzway used within the white space. But in recent times, we've seen a move away from that and more to RPP-based distribution panels within the white space. It's also increase in demand. Obviously, recently been a huge increase in demand and an increase in demand for sort of new solutions to help sort of speed up and quicken the rollout of data halls.
Okay. And how will your professional orientation change according to these trend actually?
Well, I suppose we're now traditionally switchgear manufacturing. You were looking at smaller builds, but when we got into the data center industry, and as we see it develop now, we're now sort of moving towards volume manufacturing. And I suppose what that allows us to do is we get more involved in things like lean manufacturing. We're looking at efficiency, quality systems, data collection, and analysis, which is used to drive sort of new developments in our switchgear products. We're also seeing a demand, I suppose, for solutions to be provided and the development of new products certainly for the white space. As that develops and the type of server racks used within that space develops, well, then the clients generally are looking for new solutions. Yeah, that's really how we're changing.
Clear. So moving towards RPPs from bus bars and then ramping up into volume production, lean production.
It really is, yeah. So moving towards RPPs, and then you have volume requirement for that, and you need to put the systems in place to achieve that.
Yeah, of course, there are challenges coming with that. So can you tell me more about your last project? What was the goal and what were the challenges that you face?
Yeah, well, recently one of our clients had a requirement for an extremely high density critical distribution cabinet to sit in the white space. Due to the change in server types, it appears that the loading of servers has increased. So the load requirements are increasing.
Okay.
So we had to develop and deliver a very high density RPP, which also had a high load. There was a lot of challenges associated with that. To develop something in the footprint that was required, and also something that met all the relevant IEC standards.
Got it. And do you have something particular in mind? How did ABB help you in this project to overcome these challenges?
Well, as I said, because of the high density nature of it, we struggled to find a product that would work for us in that sort of footprint. And from early on, we engaged with ABB, who we obviously have a good relationship with, spoke to them about the project, and they worked with us to develop some new components to enable us to fit the footprint. And they also worked on some existing components with regards to retesting, certifying for, let's say, meeting the requirement in other locations.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, good to hear. And what did you appreciate about the ABB solutions and collaboration? And as well, what would you like us to improve?
Well, really, first of all, I appreciate that ABB as a company were willing to engage with us, saw the potential of what we were trying to do, and let's say we're willing to look at developing new products, which not every company are. They put a team together, they worked very closely with us, and they sort of every step of the way they supported us in the development of the product, and I really appreciated that.
Thank you. That's really good to hear. And anything that you would like us to improve?
Well, really, from that end of it, I couldn't fault what was provided for us. Really, in an overall, looking at ABB and an overall organization, obviously we're all experiencing supply chain issues at the moment. It's an extremely difficult time for everybody, for suppliers and for manufacturers. But that's a global situation.
Yeah.
When the odd time we do have some, let's say, quality issues, the way the information is reported back and the speed of it sometimes could improve, especially when you're working, when volume increases the way it does, and we're monitoring the volume and the quality of multiple products, and you're dealing with the type of clients that we are in this space, they have, when something fails, they have an urgent requirement to know why it failed and how it's going to be fixed.
Yeah.
And the speed of reporting is critical.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing I would say, it's that maybe.
Got it. Okay. So happy to improve that part and finding the root cause quickly and information flow. Yeah, perfect. And regarding the global situation, we are jointly looking all together into a better.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's going to be an issue into 2022.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, but we all face that together.
True. Yeah. Jointly looking into a improvement situation regarding that topic. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot also for your transparency and for your great feedback about your experience with ABB. And of course, from my side, thanks a lot. And also in the name of all our ABB colleagues, thanks a lot for actually reaching out to us in the very first place for the project and then executing over this very cool period of time that we have together. And any last word that you would like to say?
No, just to thank the members of your development team again for the great support they gave us. We've been working with ABB for a long time now, and generally, I would say you're a great partner on all these projects.
Thank you. Good to hear. Thanks a lot, and thanks for taking the time for this interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay healthy and take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. Thank you.
What other challenges can we solve for you? Let me share 2 more customer stories which I'm personally very proud of. The first one or the second one, we just hear about the first one with Paul. The second one is now a data center provider in the Netherlands called Siberius. And there were some challenges, of course. One was to modernize its data center in Meppel. Siberius operates 2 data centers located between the largest internet backbones of Amsterdam and Frankfurt. So modernize its data center in Meppel, ensuring that it's fully equipped for further expansion and to meet the ever-increasing demands of its customers, of course, while minimizing the downtime for existing customers and achieving a higher level of quality. The ABB solution for that was completely redundantly from the grid operator's incoming power supply to the final racks in the server room, so building everything completely redundant. And the ABB systems was actually out of Smithline TouchProof, the world's first touch-safe busbar system, which is another critical element of the Siberius modernization. It allowed load-free modules and components to be made live and removed without the use of personal protective equipment to protect against electrical hazards. The second piece was the circuit monitoring system for energy consumption monitoring. This compact CMS is ideally suited for power monitoring and analysis and energy efficiency optimizations during live operation. The third project I would like to talk about is NextDC. NextDC is the biggest colocation provider offering data center solutions that enable critical colocation, connectivity, and cloud readiness Australia-wide. ABB is involved from the very beginning in new data centers set up in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. And specifically, our portion from the sub-distribution side was building the components XT4, XT5, S800s, CMS, S200s, current transformers, all of that into third-party tap-off boxes into busbar systems. So that's what we did successfully with NextDC, also a very huge project for us. And now let me summarize actually the benefits of all of these projects that we learned over the years. The most important ones that US design specification teams and consultants value from our point of view is the energy transparency, so clear visibility of energy consumption made possible at branch level. With CMS, we also have a one sensor for all currents, for AC, for DC, and also for mixed currents up to 160 amps. A maximum reliability and security when it comes to cybersecurity inside of the CMS 700 unit or the Inside Pro-M unit, thanks to encrypted SNMP protocol. The configuration of all these components into a remote power panel or busbar system can be complex, of course. We have built a tool called the Sub-Distribution Configurator. It enables you to configure in less than 10 minutes. The biggest benefit of this tool is that you will get a 3D visualization of what you have configured. Additionally, it saves time to create the first layout rapidly. You can send out your configuration via email. It generates a detailed bill of material and specifications. You can get a detailed wiring diagram, and you have a lot of flexibility when dealing with customized requirements with our specification team. Now, let me emphasize, first of all, this tool is available on the Google Chrome browser and on iOS, on iPad only. So if you're on an iPad, you can search the App Store for ABB Data Centers 3D. If you don't have an iPad, never mind, you can use your Google Chrome browser and use the address above. I will also show it as QR codes in a few seconds. The configurator looks very much like this. So you will have an area where you have settings like perimeters of the data center. And then on the left side, you will see immediately what you get. So it's really a what you see is what you get tool. And that's why so many people like it. And just to make clear why we actually designed the tool in first place was we wanted to shorten up the whole ordering request for quote ordering process. Typically, a customer request comes in, then afterwards we have a meeting, specification and engineering work is done, then a customer review, a lot of modifications need to be done, documentation has to be adopted, probably there is a first offer, but it doesn't fit because the bill of material has to be changed because there were engineering changes, then another customer review, and so on and so on. So you see the circle can take some time. And the main reason why the circle happens over and over again is that there was no visualization from the very beginning how actually the configured solution would look like. And that helps with the configurator to shorten up the process into 3 simple steps. From the first customer request, you can generate right away a bill of material, type test wiring diagram, get an offer quickly, and of course, we expect to receive an order based on the first offer without rotating a lot. Here are the QR codes. The first one here on the left side for the iPad. You can also search the App Store for ABB Data Centers 3D or use the QR code for the Chrome browser, which is linking to the address here above me, abbrpp.hiddenlimited.com. So download the app now or copy the link for your Chrome browser, please. We have prepared a short how-to video for you on how to use the configurator actually. After the video, Rami Karoum will continue with a very deep technical insight into the products and solutions for the sub-distribution that can be done with the configurator. So enjoy the how-to video and then happy to hand over to Rami for the details on the products and solutions.
ABB Server Room Sub-Distribution Configurator. Energy distribution made easy with ABB solutions for data centers. Here is a quick how-to guide on how to use ABB Server Room Sub-Distribution Configurator. To use the tool, you can download the app from the Apple Store or use the dedicated link. When using the link, and to have a user-friendly experience, we recommend using a Google Chrome web browser. Let us start by navigating you through the interface with some basic information. On the top right corner, we can see a globe icon. By clicking on it, a menu pops out and you can choose your preferred language. You can choose between English, German, French, Japanese, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and Chinese. Next to the globe icon is an information button. By clicking on it, you will be led to the glossary, where we will explain all the terms that are used in the configurator. For example, when you are not familiar with the meaning of MID branch billing, just go to the dedicated tab and click on it. Some basic information will pop up on the right side. You can enter the glossary anytime during your configurations. On the top left corner, you can see 3 different tabs: the Dashboard, Configurator, and Data Centers tab. Configurator tab 2. To start a configuration, we have to decide whether we want to enter the configuration of a busway system, or if we want to configure a remote power panel. In this example, we are going to choose the RPP by selecting the symbol, and the configuration starts. It's simple. The configuration is done step by step, as you can see here where the steps are indicated. Step 1. IT load. First step is to define the IT load of your servers. To do so, you can use the slider or you can go to the input field and you type in the number. For example, the number of server racks is going to be 50. Enter. And here we are. For power per server rack, let us choose 25. To go to the next step, click on Configure Power Supply. Step 2. Power Supply. Please note you can always go back to the previous steps and make changes. We are now in the Power Supply section, where you can define your type of power supply. For demonstration purposes, we leave it as it is. Step 3. Power Protection. Next step, Configure Power Protection. At this stage, I want to highlight another benefit of the configurator. Then the configurator is built to show you how your final product looks for real by applying the changes right away. This is a good example. If we go to Main Protection drop-down menu and choose, instead of a MCCB, the external option, you can see how the MCCB in the RPP on the left disappears. Let's reverse the selection and put the MCCB back in. The MCCB is back again, placed in the cabinet. Next step, Configure Monitoring. Step 4, Monitoring. In this section, you can select your preferred monitoring options, add a circuit monitoring system, tripping indicators, or even a touch screen. Then the final step is to configure your solution. Step 5, Solution. You can make adjustments to the cabinet type and define how many server racks per solution you want. We are finished with the configurations, and we can save and close the configuration or save and create a new configuration. For this demonstration, we are going to save and close the configuration. Since we have chosen to close and save, the Select Project window pops up, and we need to create a project first. With your cursor, click in the Assign to Project field and choose Create a Project. Define your project by giving it a name, select a country, and type in your email address. Then confirm it by clicking on Create Project. Dashboard Tab 1. Once the project is assigned, the configurator leads us here to the dashboard, and that gives you an overview of your configurations. Also, you can go back and edit or delete the configuration, or even make a copy. Via the dashboard, by selecting the configuration, you can also request an offer. That means you will receive an email with the bill of material and some documentation about the devices from us, matched to your configuration. Data Centers Tab 3. When you click on the Data Centers section, a new tab in Chrome will open and you will be directed to ABB's main Data Center Solutions page. This is very handy when you need further information about ABB's data center solutions. In the Dashboard section, you will see an overview of all your created projects and configurations. To get back to the main page, just click on the Configurator tab. Before we finish this tutorial, let us go back to the main page of the configurator and we select the busway system, so you can see it is pretty much the same as it would work for the RPP. Simply follow the steps, save the busway configuration, and it will then appear in your dashboard. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. If you have any inquiries, contact our team at ch-datacenter@abb.com.
Thank you, Nico, for this beautiful insight. If we look at the landscape of a data center building from energy distribution perspective, and typically to any standard installation, it starts with the low voltage side on the medium voltage transformer, feeding primary distribution protection, usually named MDB, main distribution board, flowing downstream to the sub-distribution level, and then focusing on what really matters to data center, the energy distribution at IT equipment level. Means white space areas where all the IT racks are installed. In this case, there's two ways to serve this particular part. First is via RPP, remote power panel. Second will be via busway. In this webinar, we will focus on the first part only, remote power panel, and what we offer as a solution in ABB to reply and fulfill the stringent need of a data center, which are space saving, modularity and flexibility, continuous operation, and energy efficiency. So solution for that will be our RPP, which is a remote power panel, are mainly power distribution unit, also known as PDUs. They have only one purpose, is to distribute the power to IT racks, IT server racks, cabinets. Usually they are installed in a close proximity to the racks, and most of the time in the same white space. RPP resembles in many ways to standard distribution board. So it starts with a main MCCB, and some cases we will see also two MCCBs to feed both sides A and B on the IT rack system. The MCCB will be feeding a bus bar which will distribute the electricity to branch MCBs that protects against overload and short circuit of the outgoing branches. What makes the RPP different from other distribution systems is the compliance to the need of continuous operation in data centers. So we in ABB reply to that by offering the Smithline bus bar, which is specially designed for critical installation where discontinuity of power must be reduced to the max. Adding on top of that, a smart branch monitoring system that meets the requirement of energy and asset management by monitoring and controlling the energy flow in electrical distribution. So to complete the whole scope of there will be a network analyzer on top of that, which will communicate with branch monitoring system. It will be a fully connected state-of-the-art network analyzer, which guarantees complete power quality analysis and accurate energy efficiency monitoring. All is equipped with embedded communication protocol. So looking at the RPP and main components of the RPP, it starts from ABB T-Max XT range, which offers higher performance, better protection, and more precise metering than equivalent units, and can handle from 160 ampere up to 1600 ampere. It's one of the most precise electronic trip units in the smallest frame. The range delivers significant time saving and enhances installation significantly. Reliability is further increased and speed of installation is reduced because of Bluetooth and equip connectivity for mobile devices. Then the other core product will be the Smithline touch-proof system, which ensures that load-free devices and components can be snapped on and off under voltage without the need for additional protective devices. This will open new prospects for you when it comes to installation, operation, and flexibility. Then, ABB Network Analyzer range provides complete and accurate electrical parameters monitoring and power quality analysis. It is equipped with graphic color display for advanced visualization of the measured parameters, and for sure Bluetooth module for smart commissioning. Then we all know by now that data center is a framework where energy efficiency and operational continuity are very crucial. That's why our branch monitoring system inside Pro-M range will help user to detect the risk at an early stage because of its transparent system, real-time system, constant diagnostic, and notification. Scalability of the system, looking at the available sizes, is never easier to meet the higher ampacity of the IT racks. It's only using the modularity of the Smith line, 125 ampere or the 250 ampere, then the configuration can be limitless. By mainly using these two bus bars, combining these two bus bars together, our multiple of one, we'll be able to deliver 250 ampere, 400 ampere, 600 ampere, and 800 ampere. With these four configurations, we will be able to cater for almost 99% of the needs of the RPP globally. But also keep in mind that by adding more Smithline bus bar, a higher rating can be achieved. Looking at the configuration deeply here, we can see that the 250 ampere consists of one bus bar, 250 ampere rated bus bar connected to one MCCB. Another configuration, which is the two bus bars of 250 ampere, each one connected to an MCCB. In this case, you have one A and one B, as I said, to feed the A and B side of the racks. 400 ampere, where you combine two bus bar. In this case, adding two bus bar of 250, you will be able to capture 400 ampere. An additional bus bar will lead to 600 ampere. And so on by adding one more bus bar. So 4 bus bars of 250 will be able to fulfill the needs of 800 ampere RPP. So I hope now it's very clear that what makes ABB RPP different are the components that really provide features and benefits which fulfills the need of a data center. And mainly its Smith line with its functionality, and inside Pro-M branch monitoring system packed with all the possibilities to fulfill the requirement of energy efficiency and management. I will show you now a short video on the Smith line showing all the functionalities of the Smith line itself, where you will find a very nice product. Oh, amazing video. Every time I see it, I feel excited working with ABB, leading the future with innovation that really makes a difference. From a technical perspective, the Smithline bus bar comes in two sizes, 125 and 250 ampere. Both are type tested to 61439 with a conditional short circuit at 100 kA when it's installed with an XT4 upstream, 25 kA with an XT 250 ampere for 690 volt. It's rated with unconditional short circuit at 30 kA. The peak short withstand current is 30 kA. Voltage can reach up to 690 volt AC and 1000 volt DC. As I said, we have two ratings. It comes in two ratings, 125 and 250 ampere. Also, the bus bar, the Smithline bus bar, comes in packs with a lot of approvals, especially from IEC, UL, DNV, and CCC, mainly for the China market. What we have as a new product, as a new development, which is available now in the Smithline family, we call it as a direct fed. The direct fed is as I said, it's a new bus bar system that can connect directly your XT4 MCCB to the Smithline bus bar without the need of any additional bus bar manufacturing. It's a direct connection that again will speed up your project and increase the reliability of the system by eliminating the additional unneeded contact points that may lead to failures, which we certainly try to avoid in critical application. On top of that, we have developed a new accessory which called a heatsink. This heatsink will be installed on the connection between the MCCB and the bus bar. These heatsinks are proven to reduce the heat on the connection point from 10 to 15 K to decrease the heat. So you'll be achieving a delta T of 10 to 15 K on this critical points. So you can imagine such an improvement in the performance of the bus bar and how this can be used to produce a smaller footprint and increase the power density of your RPP. So the second element, which is, I would say, a core for an RPP, is a circuit monitoring system. It is specially developed to meet the requirement of energy and asset management by monitoring and controlling the energy flow in sub-distribution board. It's very easy to install, appropriate for new and existing installation when it comes to retrofitting and upgrading existing installation. This is the real answer, because in this case, you don't need to remove your connectors because we have an open core CT sensor. You can install it directly on the cable. So you don't switch off the power. You can directly connect your sensors on the cable without removing the cables. It provides an efficiency energy management. It's easy commissioning with integrated web servers to teach sensors and visualize the measurement. So no external software is needed. It works for AC and DC, mixed current, scalable, flexible, and it ensures maximum data security because it's end-to-end encrypted communication with SNMP version 3. Protocols like RS485 and RG45 allows integration to higher level control system. Components of the branch monitoring systems are very well streamlined. One control unit that connects to all sensors in the system. CT sensors will be installed on the outgoing branches dedicated to measurement of the energy consumption of each circuit. Additional flat cable to connect all the CT sensors to the control unit. I/O unit that are programmable and can be connected to the system. In this case, you will be able to convert site data directly to the system itself, and it can be propagated along with all the data and in real time. And finally, with a built-in web server interface, a connection can be established with your RPP to commission, visualize, and export all the data in the system. I will run another video showing the branch monitoring system. After the video, I will leave the stage back to Nico, who will take over. Thank you for listening, and I'll be answering your questions and queries in Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rami. Now a question to everybody. Are you planning your next data center project now? Get our professional design support free of charge, but you have to be quick. This offer here is limited to the first 50 registrations only. Scan the QR code to the left, fill out a registration form, and we will schedule a free of charge call together with you and go through a complete sub-distribution design together with you. Okay, let me give you a few more seconds to scan the code actually. What will you get? You will get a technically engineered offer consisting of the layout of the sub-distribution, regardless if it's an RPP or busbar project. You will get a full bill of material, a PDF project file, showing also the complete layout of what we have configured together. And of course, this is free of charge and non-binding, so you don't have to order anything at the end. It's just an offer for you for the first 50 registrations who can fill out the registration form right now. And while you're doing this, let me say thank you very much for your attention so far. And I'm very happy to answer your questions now in the Q&A box. Again, use the button in the toolbar here below. Also press the links to stay in touch via LinkedIn or email. Press the links on our names, on our faces. I will turn off my camera now and turn it on in case it's required to answer the questions. Thanks a lot for your attention. Goodbye.